obligations to our country never cease, but with our lives.
We must all hang together, or assuredly, we should all hang separately.
Action will delineate and define you.
Those words of John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, and Thomas Jefferson ring true today. Over 237 years ago, our forefathers forged a concept of an extraordinary ideal never before articulated or achieved in history. The ideal evolved into the reality of the United States of America. This document declared and defined what it means to be an American, that liberty and equality are fundamental to who we are. In the 237 years that have followed, our brave men and women in uniform have fought to protect everything that the Declaration of Independence set forth. And every day that we live free, we honor their sacrifice to protect those ideals upon which this nation was founded.
When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another.
And to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitled them.
A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed.
That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government.
Laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness.
Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly, all experience hath shown
that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed.
But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object,
evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty,
to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security.
Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government.
Since the day this document was signed, its principles have served as the bedrock of our country.
For those who gave all, whether defying the tyranny of a king or defending us from the threats of our modern world, we honor the men and women of our armed forces who have always safeguarded our shores, preserving our way of life.
We must never forget their service. And today, Dakota and I will salute the flag with all veterans. Continued vigilance for our values declared in 1776 will forever define who we are as Americans.
We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress assembled,
appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies,
solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be free and independent states.
That they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved. And that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce,
and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do.
And for the support of this declaration, with the firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
For more than 2 centuries, the pledge we have made to each other in our Declaration of Independence has only grown stronger.
Through depression and prosperity, through civil war and world war,
America has remained a shining example to the world because we've always held tight to our founding ideals. And generation after generation, that pledge has been upheld through the hard work and sacrifice of our men and women in uniform. They've fought for us. They've given their lives for us. They've answered the call of duty again and again.
Today, our troops continue to deploy to the most dangerous parts of the world, risking their lives in order to protect our lives, our fortunes, our sacred honor. And as they serve, their families must also make sacrifices.
So now, we must do our part as well. We all can find new ways to salute the service of the troops, veterans, and military families who've given us so much. And if we do that together, we can uphold the founding promise of our country and preserve the rights and freedoms that we all hold so dear.